So for whatever reason, the new Santa Slayground holiday event was actually moved up by 24 hours here in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. And today we're going to be breaking down all the details of the content included, content coming, and more that you should know about. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What part of this event do you like the most, dislike, whatever the case. But if you enjoy the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and other FPS content. I'd love to have in the community, especially if you're part of that 60% of viewers who are not subscribed. If you want to stay on top of everything, we got you covered. And finally, this video is brought to you in part by RepeatGG, but more on them a little later. For now, let's jump into the seasonal update and this Santa Slayground holiday event, this CODMAS event, and everything that you need to know. So first, let's take a look at those seasonal events again. As a note, for some reason, this was bumped up by the previously listed 24 hours beyond today. So whereas in our video on Sunday, we talked about there being a little crossover, or rather lack of crossover time between the Dune Trial of Power event and when we'd see this Santa Slayground and Sleigh Ride events kick off, that's now actually changed. It's a little bit different. Now, as of recording this, you'll have still about 20 some hours, probably a little less from when you end up seeing this, that you can end up completing this just as you simply jump on and try out the new modes, the new content and such. You'll probably earn enough XP to complete wherever you are in that event. Thankfully, that event is only XP based, so you don't have to do any sort of game challenges or anything to progress through it. All you gotta do is simply play the game. So if you jump on and try this new stuff out in the next 20-ish hours or so, you'll probably be able to pick up that camo if you have not done so already. But the new events, the Santa Slayground and Sleigh Ride events, were introduced as of today. Santa Slayground ends up introducing 7 different challenges here that you can end up completing with an overall reward for completion of the Ugliest Sweater DG58 LSW blueprint. Now, what's different about this as opposed to other events we've seen in the past is we actually have not only 7 things to complete, but you have 7 different challenges across the 3 different modes. And you only have to complete one of those per reward item to end up completing that. So if you don't like some of these challenges, you have 2 other different modes you can cycle in and out of to end up completing that sort of air quote tier to end up progressing towards the mastery reward. You have the Underbaker weapon sticker, which in MP you need to get 40 operator melee kills with stalker boots equipped, 5 special zombie kills with melee weapons in zombies, and in Warzone get 10 operator kills with marksman rifles. The double weapon XP token tasks you with getting 40 operator kills with weapons picked up from the enemy players, 400 kills with a wall buy weapon, and in Sleigh Ride Resurgence for Warzone getting 15 operator kills with assault rifles. The battle pass tier skip tasks you with getting 100 operator kills with a DG58 LSW, in zombies 400 kills with a pack-a-punch with a DG58 LSW, and in Sleigh Ride Resurgence 15 operator kills with SMGs. The mistletoe weapon charm tasks you with getting 6 operator snowball kills in snowball gunfight, 25 kills with snowballs and zombies, or 15 operator kills with snowballs in Warzone. The deadly knit calling card tasks players with getting 40 operator headshot kills with a sniper, DMR, or battle rifle in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, 200 critical kills with snipers, marksman rifles, or battle rifles in zombies, or in Sleigh Ride Resurgence 15 operator kills with sniper rifles. The low Krampus emblem tasks players with getting 30 operator kills while playing Infected Holiday, completing 8 contracts in zombies, or getting 15 operator kills with snowballs over 25 minutes in Warzone. And finally, the Santa's right hand finishing move, which is pretty funny. You got the elf that will come up and kick your enemy in the crotch. To earn that, you have to get 5 operator kills with sliding or crouching in multiplayer, 50 kills with stamina up active in zombies, or in Sleigh Ride Resurgence, place in the top 5 15 times. Again, complete all 7 of those categories. Again, you don't have to do all 21 challenges across the 3 modes, but so long as you complete one and check off each one of those categories, you can end up getting the Ugliest Sweater weapon blueprint for the DG58 LSW. That coming along with the X10 EXR10 mini optic, the long barrel, and the Sky Fury compensator muzzle. For the most part, you won't lose out on a lot of that sort of blueprint design if you want to change up those attachments. Thankfully, the optic shouldn't change too much, the compensator and the barrel. You'll just lose out on that gold and sort of wrapping paper style barrel, but the overall design of the ugly sweater, that's going to be intact there for the most part, which is definitely nice. I kind of like that design as a base, but that's the new event here and everything you can learn along the way just by simply playing the game and taking part in these challenges. Now, beyond those events, we also ended up seeing some more stuff added in for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. On the multiplayer side of things, we end up having the sort of thematic changes to the maps of Hangover and Shipmas, that being High Rise and Shipment respectively. Shipmas is really frozen over in a lot of that design, a lot of iced over boxes, and more like just barren frozen battlefield as opposed to in the past we've seen it like decorated in presents and other holiday festivities. This is more so just kind of like it froze over, which is pretty cool. You have the Aurora Borealis in the background as well in that skybox, fitting nicely with the Borealis camo. And then Hangover is a bit more of that festive theme here with it, where there is the decorations around the map. You have that holiday office party going on in the one office space there as well in the one spawns. The map's littered with different decor in terms of wreaths, presents, Christmas lights, all that kind of stuff. There's snowmen around the map. And grand scheme of things, again, these are all just thematic reskins here of this for some fun deviation from what you may know. The overall gameplay itself will not change. None of the maps are altered in any way, shape, or form in terms of like map lanes or anything. So that's something that is just a fun way to change how the maps look a little bit with this update. Now, before we jump into everything else added into this here, I want to take a second and let you know about today's sponsor, RepeatGG, a PlayStation-owned and backed tournament platform where, especially with the launch of Urzikstan and Warzone's core changes being added with Season 1, it's a great place to try and make a name for yourself in the competitive space if that's your cup of tea. In fact, Repeat is hosting a 5K Holiday Cup tournament right now, as well as a handful of other weekly free-to-enter tournaments. Repeat gives away tens of thousands in prizing every single month just to Warzone alone, so if you want to test your luck, see where you stack up compared to the competition, you can simply link your Activision or Steam account to Repeat and start playing with your matches counting towards whatever competition you decide to enter. You can enter one or multiple tournaments simultaneously, whether or not you just want to test the competitive waters or dive right in. There's no installation or anything needed. Just link your accounts and you're good to get competing. So if you'd like to learn more, or maybe even start to compete, maybe with a new map and fundamental changes you get that itch again, check out RepeatGG linked below. And again, thanks to RepeatGG for sponsoring this video. Back to it, on the multiplayer side of things, we also see the modes of Infected and Snowfight introduced, where Infectious Holiday is something where the infected players will turn into the zombie Santa, so you'll have a horde of those coming at you. If you are one of the last survivors, you have Snowfight, which is gunfight, but the first two rounds are played with snowballs. You have, of course, Hangover 24/7, where it's just the new Hangover Holiday map. Again, that thematic change for High Rise. On the game modes of Kill Confirm, Domination, Hardpoint, and Team Deathmatch, you have Shipments 24/7, the thematic change for Shipment. Again, on the modes of Kill Confirm, Domination, Hardpoint, and TDM. And you still have the existing modes of 10v10, War, Gunfight, Cutthroat, Ground War, and Invasion. But jumping over to the zombie side of things, well, this is the smallest of introductions here that we've seen because there's not a whole ton, like really minimal of note. Just that there's some festive model updates for zombies where they'll like have Santa caps on their heads and such. So again, real small details like that, nothing really fundamentally changed or anything. But then we get into the Warzone side of things where we see a bit more as well. But again, this still being more so just thematic based, nothing that is again too crazy. You have the Deck the Halls event where across the map you have 6 trees around the map as denoted on the TAC map that you can find. They're not something that's like hidden there with this, but progressively you can end up getting higher and higher tier loot as you capture upwards of tier 1, 2, and 3 of the trees, with increasing rarity and loot rewards as you continue to progress it. But again, as we talked about before, that does send up a flare to where if there's anybody nearby, they'll end up seeing that you are capturing that. They can end up trying to kill you and overtake that progress. So just know that you might not be alone for too long. You also have that Sleigh Ride event where you can take down zombies and Zombie Santa to earn loot and a challenge emblem on the train in Urzikstan here. So that's something that players may be hotly contesting here for the next couple of days. And you'll have a few other things sprinkled in throughout, as well as maybe some Easter eggs and stuff along those lines. So realistically, when we take a look at today's update, again, it is more so a thematic event update, something that just kind of celebrates the holidays and gives a little bit more for players to do in this sort of downtime window while we're maybe waiting for Season 1 Reloaded, the new maps, the new content in regards to ranked play coming. So this is just something that's a sort of fun little update here. It might not be for everybody, might not be as much as some people want, might be more than other people want. It's really all subjective, but we can turn then to talking about future content because we did get a little bit detailed about what's upcoming after this update as well. It was detailed that this holiday event would be ending on January 3rd at 8 a.m. Pacific, which is oddly specific in my opinion in terms of timing, since we normally see things just kind of roll over into the next whatever's new at like 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time normally, but 8 a.m. Pacific is a bit earlier than normal. But the event will end at 8 a.m. Pacific on the 3rd, and then we'll later jump into the New Year event of the Vortex event. So we did talk about how there was that possibility of a New Year's event, we just couldn't source it. Well, that's been confirmed now at this point, where we'll have another event shortly after this, just jumping right into the next one. Well, that will feature the maps of Tetanus, Satan's Quarry, and Spore Yard. Those thematic changes, and honestly very thematically changed maps of Rust, Quarry, and then Scrapyard as well. In this, not only is it thematically changed, but I'm pretty sure this is also going to come along with that LTM where it's kind of a King of the Hill thing where you have the ability to get a ray gun in multiplayer. So whereas you saw people having clips of them sort of air quote hacking that in, that's where that came from, because the ray gun is already in the multiplayer assets for Modern Warfare 3. It's just not released just yet. So that's where those clips were coming from, people getting that a little earlier and using them in regular 6v6 and 10v10 play. But these maps, thematically, I honestly hope that I get to share some footage with you guys early, because I got to play on Sporyard and Satan's Quarry. I didn't quite get the chance to play on Tetanus whenever I was at Sledgehammer a couple of weeks back before Season 1 launched, but others did. So these maps were pretty fun to play on. I think the only thing that I really had a gripe with was that Satan's Quarry was really hard to see anybody that had any sort of character outfit that blended into the shadows with that. That was the only really tough part. But honestly, I hope we get to share some of that footage. There's some really cool stuff. But now that we have actual key art imagery for each of those maps, you can see what I mean here, where they are thematically changed, where they do have some cool skybox changes and stuff like that. So that is going to be coming in the very near future, just after the turn of the new year. Along with that, we'll also see 15 rewards earned by playing through this event, similar to what we see with the event right now, but a little longer in terms of duration, perhaps in regards to challenges and what you have on offer, since you only have 7 right now within the Santa Slayground event. But anyways, that is the update as of today. That's what we can look forward to in the near future, and everything in between. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this update today? Are you looking forward to maybe the Vortex update come later in the new year? What are the case? Drop your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it out insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it, and make sure to subscribe to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and anything FPS related. I'd love to have in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.